A child pulls a wagon along level ground by exerting a force of 20 pounds on a handle that makes an angle of 30 degrees to the horizontal. How much work is done pulling the wagon 150 feet? Okay, so for this question, let's draw a little map of what we're talking about. So we have level ground, and then we have this wagon, and we have this handle at 30 degrees to the horizontal. So here's the handle. And this angle here is 30 degrees. So the child is right here and pulling the wagon, and the force is going in that direction. That's the force vector. The child's pulling the handle at that 30 degree to the horizontal angle. And the movement vector, the wagon is moving to the right. So there's the movement vector. So the movement vector is to the right. And in fact, it goes 150 feet. So it's 150 I. Remember, I is sideways, J is up and down. So the movement vector is 150 I, 150 to the right. The force vector, how are we going to find the force vector? Well, the force vector is going to equal, the angle is 30 degrees, and that is from 0, right? If I put a whole axis system there, here's 0 degrees. That's a 30-degree direction vector. So the force vector is 20 pounds. So it's going to be 20 cosine of 30 degrees I plus 20 sine of 30 degrees J. So there's the force vector. So now, how do we find actual work? Work is always force dotted with distance, isn't it? It's the dot product between the force vector and the distance vector. So, work equals the force vector dotted with the distance. This is the movement, or I'll call it the distance. The distance, force dot distance. So it's the force vector, which is 20 cos 30 degrees I plus 20 sine 30 degrees J, dotted with the distance vector, the movement vector, which is 150 I plus 0J, right? It's got a 0J there because the wagon's not going up at all. It's only going sideways. So when you dot product those two, what happens? Remember, the I multiplies the I, and the J multiplies the J, which is 0, so those two vanish. So it just becomes 20 cosine of 30 degrees times 150. And the i's drop off, right? You just multiply the I number times the I number and drop the i's, plus the J number times the J number and drop the J's, which is just 0. So then the answer is just going to be 20 cosine 30 degrees times 50. So I'll do that on my calculator. Make sure you're in degree mode, because that's 30 degrees. And I'm getting 2598.076 foot-pounds, because that's pounds times feet. So what was it? 2598. There it is. Answer D. 2598 foot-pounds of work on that one.